Obviously, I'm not an alien making a video about human emotions. I myself have had a fair share of feeling negatively and angry and destructive in the long past. But at the same time, for many years, I've been on a spiritual path. I've done a lot of training, experiencing healing, purification, you name it, on the spiritual path because I have been on a spiritual journey. And I do know that to take dominion back or control back over your feelings and thinking is not easy. It's easier said than done. It's not that easy to do. But I have a solution to suggest. Another spiritual principle is where your attention is, that is what you become. I will repeat it again. Where your attention is, that is what you become. Where your attention is at any given moment, that is your choice to serve the light or the darkness. Right now, the whole world's attention is on the virus and at all the hardships that we are experiencing. And that means we're serving the darkness and we're serving the virus. We have to turn the opposite way. Right now, we're looking down. We're looking down at the physical world, at the virus, at the darkness. We're looking down at the low vibrational rate of energy. Instead, we have to look up. We have to look up at the high vibration, at the higher life, and it's actually a light. It's the presence. It's the divine I am presence, God, that we have to look up to. The true master of the universe is love, and love can easily destroy any virus whatsoever. But we humans unfortunately have a free will, and if we continue to exercise our free will by feeling negatively, thus disobeying the law of love, then we have to pay the penalty. I truly admire the efforts of all medical personnel, all authorities who are doing everything possible to protect communities, to protect the nation, to protect the world. And I honor that and I bow to that. However, we cannot forget about the spiritual side of things. We cannot solve any problem, physical problem whatsoever, without turning to the spiritual side as well. They have to be both. First, spiritual side comes first, spiritual solution, and then physical will follow. And it will be easier, it will be less effortless, and it will be absolutely less deadly. And by the way, as an example of this principle, you can check out one of my interviews in my podcast, I'm a Woman of Power, Overcoming Challenges by Going Within and Connecting with Your Divine Inner Divine Power. One of the interviews I've done with Claudia Cooley. She's the best-selling author and a Get It Done coach. And she actually gave an example, not as difficult or big as virus, but she gave an example. During her hard times, she had to reach to her friends to find support, and she didn't find any. So check out this interview to see what she has done and where she found the right support that let her go through hard times in her family and actually thrive later. So that's a good interview that's a good example to confirm this principle. Where your attention is, that's what you become, and where actually we have to look for guidance and help first. Spiritual preparation must come first. The physical actions will follow. Because majority of the population on Earth subscribes to the belief that only physical is real, they all know only physical actions, but they don't pay attention to spiritual actions, or they think right now it's not the time. Well, that's a big mistake, because spiritual actions actually always must be first. Because think about it, who has the bigger picture? Who knows the bigger picture? Our puny human mind and intellect? Or it's the God who sees much bigger and knows much more than all of us together on the whole earth? If you are not Nostradamus incarnated, you do not know that this, you would not know that this coronavirus would strike in 2020. You wouldn't know right now, you don't know right now how long it will last. Nobody can predict how is it going to behave, where is it going, and how many lives is it going to claim still continually. And what else will happen? Like an earthquake, yes, we could predict a few days ahead that an earthquake is coming, but truly, how could you see the big picture? No, we humans cannot. Yet, every human on earth has their personal divine I am presence. And this is the personal divine I am presence who can comfort you, who can show you the way, who can guide you, and who can save us all. Every human is required to look up at divine guidance, to look up at divine presence and ask for the solution. Have you ever heard of call unto me and I answered thee, and ask and you shall receive? Every human is obligated to obey the law of the universe, which is the law of love. And the law of love means we have to turn to the divine as well as keeping our feelings and thinking in harmony. I am a spiritual self-awareness mentor and I do not subscribe to any religion. However, I actively use the prayers or the mantras that have withstood the test of time. So I'm going to suggest those to you right now, or you can absolutely take your own prayers and use them constantly. My point is, we all, personally and collectively, during these trying times, as well as the peaceful times, must keep our attention only up on the divine presence, not on hardships, not on the physical reality that is not real, but on the divine presence that is only real presence. We must ask God for the solution, for protection, and for peace on earth and freedom from the virus. And by the way, do you think that God didn't know that it was coming to earth? And please don't ask, where is God in this old stuff? Well, take responsibility, because this is our responsibility. And we do have to ask God to help us, but we have to take responsibility. Ask God, and you shall receive the answer. If you start saying out loud, I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. And another one is peace, be still. These are short prayers. They're very effective. They've withstood the test of time. And I do not believe that they belong to one particular religion. They are words that was said by Jesus Christ, who is the actually ascended master. He doesn't belong to any religion whatsoever. He is the ascended life, ascended master. And if you use this, it's very simple. I am the resurrection and the life. And peace, be still. Do you think you will have time to be mad or angry? Do you think you will have time to utter judgmental and angry words at somebody? Because your mind and your mouth will be busy by pronouncing, by speaking out loud the most important words that you can say, because they will keep your attention on the divine. So this is how you switch your attention from your fear and panic to the divine that has all the answers. So just pronounce these simple prayers or use your own. Calmness creates more calmness and therefore more light. Peace creates more peace and therefore more light. Harmony creates more harmony and therefore more light. Harmony will never create the virus. Harmony will never create the earthquake. Peace will never create any deadly event whatsoever. To restore peace on earth and health on earth, we have to turn collectively to exercising our power by emitting peace, harmony, light, love, and serenity. We have to turn away our attention from anger, blame, judgment, and all the other negative emotions. And now time has come for personal actions. What can you do right now to make your life much easier, to protect yourself, protect your loved ones, and the whole world? First, start repeating as much as possible, as loud as possible. Commit every moment you can to this activity. I am the resurrection and the life. Peace, be still. And you can actually add, if you want, I am the resurrection and the life from coronavirus. Peace, be still on earth. The light of God never fails. That's another good one. The light forces move across the world and all the darkness disappears. Or you can say the light forces move across the earth and all coronavirus disappears. Whatever words you use, just make sure that this mantra is actually talking to God, not about the darkness, but turning to attention to God. So let me repeat again. I am the resurrection and the life from coronavirus. Peace be still on earth. The light of God never fails. The light forces move across the world and all darkness disappears. I am a victory over coronavirus. And I am, I don't know if you heard or not, but I am is actually the official name of God. So you are saying God is a victory over coronavirus. If you feel more comfortable to say God, just use God and say God is the victory over coronavirus. Or God is victory over the darkness. Or choose whatever mantra or prayer is appropriate. It feels good to you and it keeps your attention on light, love, and peace. And say it many, many times a day, not puny 5 minutes a day and then be done with it. You need to do it continuously. If we are to be collectively victorious over the virus and all the calamities, we must first stop generating darkness by feeling, thinking, speaking, and acting negatively. We must feel harmonious and at peace at all times. We must exercise control over our feeling, thinking, and acting. Next, look up to divine presence at all times. We must ask divine presence for guidance and solution at any given situation. We have to listen to the divine guidance and get the answers. And we have to take physical actions according to the guidance. So it's not the way out. First, we rush into physical actions without listening anything, blindly, without knowing if we're doing it right or not, which has been a confirmation over and over. But actually, we listen to the divine guidance. The answers are provided because everybody has intuition, gut feeling, and we all are capable to hear divine. And then the physical actions will follow and there will be a shortcut to the victory. And just a side note, do you think that divine guidance would rush you to the store and tell you to hoard all the toilet paper that became a phenomenon in the whole world? More personal action steps. In the morning, the first thing you do when you wake up, you turn your attention to your divine presence, God, and you ask, what do I need to do today, every minute of the day, to participate or to create peace on earth, to stop the virus? What is my part in it? And then, of course, listen to the divine guidance for the answers. Not everybody is involved personally in the rescue efforts and treating and helping the sick and doing all the rescue efforts, and yet every single one has the responsibility to participate and to help. Some might not physically, but spiritually it is everybody's responsibility. And it's also a responsibility to wake up and understand how much power we hold inside, and that we have a free will to choose the light or the dark. And if you feel determined and brave, here's another one for you to repeat many, many times a day out loud. I charge God's love into coronavirus to annihilate it from the earth forever. Or even better, I charge God's love into the darkness to annihilate the darkness from the earth forever. And let me repeat, if you are under the impression that all the events of nature, they are acts of God, no, God did not create them. God did not create earthquakes, and the nature did not create earthquakes just by itself. Nature gets disturbed by human darkness, by human accumulation of human discord via our negative feeling, thinking, and acting, with via our distraction. So if we want to stop all future calamities, including the present one, we must turn away from creating distraction and turn back to constructive actions, constructive thinking, constructive feeling, and we must exercise strict obedience to the law of love. If this video resonates with you, please share it with as many people as possible. And we women, because it is a part of my podcast, I'm a woman of power. We women have to take charge and understand that so much inherent power lies within us, and that power is the divine power, the power that we have to tune, so we have to slow down, tune in, and connect with our divine power. So please share this video with as many people as possible, because humans have to wake up to their divinity, and we have to take responsibility for our actions, our feelings, and our thinking.